You just got back from Peru. I don't know where to begin with this, but how did this all come to be?
Well, so I heard, well, they told me that we've been watching you for a while and been watching the work that you're doing, and we wanted to know if you'd come and be a part of what we're doing. And so I got to, essentially go talk about what we're doing in Indigenous Box, the model that we created at Indigenous Box, and share with other Indigenous people from around the world. So it was an incredible honor.
Wow. So for people who aren't familiar with the work that you're doing, what is the model of Indigenous Box and what do you guys do?
So Indigenous Box we're a social impact company. We are working to expand market reach for Indigenous businesses, small and medium grassroots Indigenous businesses, by expanding the supply chain capacity, by building capacity for Indigenous entrepreneurs. And we do that through selling to corporations and governments and not-for-profits, where we can really champion Indigenous makers in curated collections of products and showcase the work that they're doing.
So what was it like going and talking to these business leaders, these leaders of culture, these leaders of society?
It was pretty incredible. The feeling that I had, like walking into the room, first of all, I was this kid from the reserve who just had this worldview so small, like not that many years ago, and then being welcomed to a global stage to talk about the innovation that we've had with Indigenous Box and Indigenous innovation across the board. And so it was huge for me. I think there was a lot of things that I learned that I took away from other Indigenous people around the world who were on the same panel. We had somebody from Papua New Guinea who was talking about their initiatives with Indigenous business, and we had so many people talking about innovation or ways to improve the lives of Indigenous people around the world. And so I took away a lot, but I also was able to share so much about what we do at Indigenous Box and the passion that we have to support the growing Indigenous economy.
Yeah. So I know you have, this has been a passion. You really have only been in business for what, like 3.5 years?
Yes.
So talking to people about the work that you're doing, you've had such a belief in it and you have such a passion for it. What was it like to share that with other people? And did it change how you see your work?
Sometimes I think that, there's just little old us over here trying to make an impact or, have a ripple effect in some small way. But going over there and sharing about what we do, and also just the fact that they were watching us do this work was incredible. But going over there and talking about it made me realize just how much abundance we actually have. The incredible innovation of Indigenous people across Canada and across North America is just mind-blowing, but also so many parallels. Indigenous people around the world, Indigenous people in Australia, they're all still dealing with the systematic effects of colonization. And so we're all, working to play catch up, but sharing in initiatives and innovation, cool ideas, just sharing in best practices and trying to learn and teach from each other. So I think it was just an incredible opportunity.
Yeah. So you're on this international stage, you're sharing what you're doing. What next? Not to overwhelm you. You just got back on Sunday, just a few days ago. But yeah, what's next for you?
Well, I'm actually headed to Brazil to continue the conversation and to continue being an advocate for growing Indigenous economy right here in Canada, but also to teach people about the perspectives that we have and the change that we're seeing and experiencing with the heightened emphasis on reconciliation and sharing of stories of what has happened to Indigenous people in Canada and how we're rising up through all of that and how we're creating change and making it better for our young kids who will now come into these spaces and get to walk in two worlds with a little bit more ease.
I know that you've wanted the company to go global, be expanded. Are you ready for that?
Absolutely, and long overdue. I think Indigenous people across Canada, Indigenous businesses are ready to experience the growth that we're seeing. We're the fastest, most rapidly growing population segment in Canada, and we're starting businesses at phenomenal rates. Things are changing, and we're taking the onus on us, and we're creating the change that our communities need. And I think it's a beautiful thing.
That's so exciting. Mallory, thank you for coming in and chatting with us about this. What an incredible experience. And I cannot wait to hear how Brazil goes. That sounds fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.